looking at the big barn on Bristol Street. Northside Gym alive with Hoosier hysteria tonight. It's the sectional semifinals between the Northridge Raiders and the Elkhart Memorial Crimson Chargers, as the IHSA tournament is brought to you in part by the Indiana Pacers. How you doing, everybody? Between my Hall of Fame partners, Bob Nagel, LeBeau Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby. Great to have you with us as we start our path down the tourney trail on the road to Banker's Life. The Memorial Crimson Chargers have been a little bit of a difficult team to figure out this year. 13-9 on the season, maybe playing their best ball here at the end of the year. But there's one overriding factor for this team. They know they're the last team that's ever going to don the crimson and gold, and they don't want that last game to be tonight.
They don't want it to be until Banker's Life Fieldhouse, as a matter of fact, and they've got enough talent to get there. Thing is, they have to have all the parts playing together. They don't have a one player that's scoring 25 points a game. They got a lot of players who can score 10, 12, 14 points a game, including Lewis, who's, by the way, that name's pretty popular in the history of Elkhart Memorial, but Dejan Lewis is a very good ball player. Braxton Miller's an outstanding scorer as well, but they need all five pieces working together.
This Northridge team comes in red hot. They have won 14 in a row, 19-5 on the year, and it's really no mystery how they've done it. You can make basketball very complicated, but it's very simple for Northridge. They shoot the ball well from three-point range and from the free throw line. And
inside with Stauffer, he's a big, strong kid inside, so they've got really every aspect you want. And there's no question Sam Smith is one of the finest shooters, over 40% from three-point range. But keep an eye on the Stoltzfus brothers. They're pretty good players as well, and they've got guys who understand their roles. You know, after a couple of years at the helm, obviously they've taken in what the head coach has given, and they're ready to go, and they're ready to play at a high level.
Bob mentions a couple of years at the helm. Let's talk about that with our sideline guy, Bo Hunt. A year ago, Scott Radiker brought Northridge in here, and they were an underdog and wound up winning the sectional. Now they're the favorite. They've got the target on their back. How does that play differently with this squad?
Well, yeah, you're exactly right. Last year, not a lot of people thought they would do very good, go very far last year, let alone go to the regional final last year. Just a tremendous job he did with that squad. And what he's built over there is a lasting team effort. And they play well on the outside. They play well on the inside. They shoot great from the free throw line. And them having the target on the back, they don't feel it that way. They just feel like they're playing Northridge basketball coming into this game, and they feel that they can take it.
The winner gets a date with Penn or Warsaw Saturday night. The loser gets a long time to think about it. We've got the keys to win coming up. Brought to you by Jordan Automotive as we roll on towards tip-off on 46.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week. Brought to you by Interra Credit Union, South Bend Orthopedics, Bill's Heating, Jordan Automotive Group, Teachers Credit Union, IU South Bend, Electrical Workers Local 153, Crown Trophy, Imagineering Finishing Technology, and the IHSAA.
This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week brought to you in part by the Jordan Auto Group. Simple, easy, and stress-free. Welcome back, everyone, to Northside Gym in Elkhart, where it's Elkhart Memorial and Northridge in the first semifinal at Northside Gym tonight. And it's time now to look at our keys to win. They're brought to you by the aforementioned Jordan Auto Group. And when you take a look at this Elkhart Memorial squad, they've got very good balance. But their leading scorer is Braxton Miller, the 6'1 senior guard, is pumping them in from the outside, the best three-point shooter on the team, and he scores 13.5 points a game. He gets some help in the backcourt from the electric Dejan Lewis, the 6-foot junior, really the point guard for this Charger team. Leads them in assists, also scores 12.5 points a game, and we have seen him have some dynamic nights on this Northside Gym floor. The keys to win for Kyle Sears and the Crimson Chargers.
Well, Chuck, a lot of it comes down to defense for this team from Elkhart Memorial, because they've got to get out on the perimeter and defend the arc. The three-point shooting for Northridge is a big part of their offense, especially with Sam Smith. They got to get out there. They got to clean the glass, make sure it's a one and done, not an entry pass on those long shots. And then they've got to move the ball around. Elkhart Memorial has a lot of quickness. They're a long team defensively, but if they can move the ball around, get people out of position. They're very effective. Kyle Sears, the head coach, he's got 73 wins in his 6 seasons at the helm. He talks about the keys to win for tonight's game.
Our guys have really started to share that basketball really well, and when we do that, we're playing probably our best basketball of the year. So as long as we continue to share the ball and get after it defensively, we're going to continue to see that improvement.
Meanwhile, for the Northridge Raiders, they too have a troika of double-digit scores, but their leading scorer for the year is a fellow by the name of Sam Smith. The 6-foot junior has scored 16.5 points a game, 19 games in double figures, and he has drained 71 three-pointers this year, shooting 45% beyond the arc. When they want to go inside, it's the big fella who's headed to Indiana Wesleyan by the name of Alex Stouffer. 6'7" and a senior. He averages 14 points and 7.5 rebounds a game. He can also drain the three, but he had 14 the first time these two teams played. The keys to win for Scott Radiker and the Raiders.
Well, they're concerned about that quickness as well with the guards, especially from Memorial. They can't let the guards drive. They can't let them get inside and run their offense that way. They got to really be tough on transition defense. Don't let Memorial out. And they've got to execute their offense. And sometimes it looks like it's overly patient, but if they come up with the right shot and the percentages they shoot, that's the secret to success. For Scott Radiker, who's got 255 wins in his 19 seasons as a head coach, and he's got some comments that he made about what's really been important for them in this winning streak.
Well, the guys really started coming together after East Noble. We made a lot of adjustments and within things we were doing. We haven't played perfectly in this 14-game winning streak, but the kids have come in every day, humble, watching the film, taking coaching, and just striving to get better every single day. It's just an awesome group of kids from that standpoint.
So those are the keys to win, brought to you by the Jordan Auto Group. It's Elkhart Memorial in Northridge in the sectional semifinal. The starting lineups and tip-off come your way next on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Intera Credit Union. We get it, because we live here too. A sterling rendition of the national anthem by the second greatest alum of Mary Beck Elementary School ever, Matt Werbiansky, my old elementary school classmate, did a tremendous job with the anthem tonight here at Northside Gym. So now that the anthem is done, we continue with our Southwind Flooring pregame show and the starting lineups. Here's Bob Nagel.
Well, Chuck, one of the things about the national anthem is this is going on all around the state tonight. Some really big games. We're in the semifinals. What a night in the state of Indiana for exciting high school basketball. Here's the starting lineups, first of all, for Elkhart Memorial. Dejan Lewis is starting to guard. He's a 6-foot junior. He wears number 3. Number 10 is Braxton Miller. Leading scorer, he's a 6'1" senior, outstanding guard. He wears number 10. Number 22 is Skinny Rogers. He's a 5'9" sophomore, and he is quick. Malachi Emmons wears number 34. He's a 6-foot sophomore. He'll also be a guard. And their big guy inside is Brandon Brooks, a 6'5" senior. He wears number 42. For the Northridge Raiders, Carter Stoltzfus will start at a guard, 5'11" junior. Also at a guard is Drew Gaylor, 5'11" junior. He missed some of the season this year with an injury, but he's back. Camden Knepp, 6'3" senior, will start at a forward. Also at a guard is Sam Smith. He's out on the wing, 6-foot junior, their leading scorer. And the big man inside is Alex Stauffer, 6'7" senior. He wears number 50. Sam Smith will wear number 30 in tonight's game. Chuck?
The two coaches, Scott Radiker, a veteran. He has been through this for 19 seasons. Kyle Sears finishing up his 6th season here at Elkhart Memorial. He hopes it doesn't finish up tonight. And the series history, ironically, the first game ever played by Elkhart Memorial in basketball was against Northridge back in 1972. It could be the last game the Chargers ever play if they don't get a win tonight. but Memorial leads the all-time series. This is the 58th meeting. Northridge won the regular season matchup back in January, and the officials is assigned by the Indiana High School Athletic Association for tonight. Ron Day working with Tim Nolan and John Wright.
Chuck, it was kind of scary when you said 1972. I think it was at that game, which is entirely possible. And two teams out on the floor getting ready to go at it. Northridge in their home white uniforms with green and gold trim. Memorial in their road red uniforms with gold trim. Crimson Chargers they are, and they are ready to tip it off against Northridge here tonight. Boy, what an atmosphere. A lot of turnout for Northridge and Memorial as we get ready to go. And here to call tonight's action, my partner, Family Broadcasting Corporation Sports Director, Chuck Freeby.
We thank Southwind Flooring for sponsoring the pregame show. Stutzman Power Equipment with our opening tip, controlled by the Memorial Crimson Chargers. The Chargers went 13-9 this season. They come in here having had the bye in the sectional. Skinny Rogers on the baseline misfires. Braxton Miller's rebound is no good, and it comes down to Drew Gaylor of Northridge. Northridge throws it away. Malachi Emmons with the steal. And the Chargers will work it back around. Skinny Rogers going up against the man-to-man defense of the Northridge Raiders. Miller, the best three-point shooter on the team. Rogers penetrates and with the left hand lays it in for two.
Exactly what we talked about in the pregame show, Chuck. They really got to limit that penetration.
Northridge comes in with a record of 19-5. They've won 14 straight. Their best wins this year over teams like Northwood and Jimtown. The Raiders average 63 points a game on offense. And they too will open up against a man-to-man defense from Elkhart Memorial. Camden Knepp with the dribble. Wanted to find the cutter, instead goes back outside. Drew Gaylor with the basketball right now. That's Alex Stouffer for three. The iron unkind, and the rebound comes down to Malachi Emmons as Northridge sent everybody back in transition defense. Yarjan Lewis. Now Emmons gets a screen from Brooks, and then on the pick and roll, gets him for two.
What a sweet pass.
Brandon Brooks with his first basket of the game, and Memorial jumps out on top 4-0, and we thought a quick start might be imperative for the Chargers.
Been watching Sam Smith get it out on the wing, way out on the wing, and they've got a guy right in his face. Now normally the guy's 25, 30 feet away from the basket, you're going to let him stand there, but they didn't do that on the first two possessions.
This is a Northridge team that only averages 9.5 turnovers per game. They've already made 2 in the first 2 minutes.
And Elkhart Memorial owns the boards at 2-0 as well. Good start for the Crimson Chargers.
Brooks working against Stouffer. Yarjan Lewis and Titus Rogers. A little three-man weave action. Emmons for three, no good. Sam Smith the rebound. They ran a clear out on the left side, but Smith ties the top side triple. It's short, and the rebound to Yarjan Lewis. Good job by Stoltzfus to slow him up in transition. First quarter tonight brought to us by our friends at Angel Automotive. Brooks had it stripped away that time by Stoltzfus, and here comes Northridge in transition. Drew Gaylor's reverse layup hits the side of the rim, and here come the Chargers. Lewis for three. Not that time. Stauffer collects the carom. A shaky start for Northridge, trailing 4-0 early on.
Well, we talked about how the excitement of the tournament might affect the two sophomores, the starting lineup for Memorial, but Northridge seems to be the team that's a little shaky to start the game.
It'll be Carter Stoltzfus, the junior guard, handling things up top. And now Stoltzfus, and again with a man right in his face. Getting loose is Camden Knepp, but he can't hit that one. The state's second best three-point shooter in percentage, but a steal by Stoltzfus, and he'll lay it in for two. Lewis never saw him.
Don't care how it happens. You got to get that goose egg off the board.
And Carter Stoltzfus takes care of that. He averages 13 points a game. Rogers in with the left hand. That was pretty. A little teardrop layup for Skinny Rogers. And the sophomore has 4. Rogers averages 12.5 per game. Now here's Knepp. Bottled up on the baseline. Found the cutting Smith. The pull-up jumper is awry. And the rebound to Brooks. Lewis trying to make something happen. Now Emmons steps on the baseline as he drives. And a substitution here for Northridge as they'll go to the bench and bring in Clay Stoltzfus, the 5'8" junior. You get another look at the drive and the step on the baseline by Emmons. Good look down there by Rory Killalay working the floor cam tonight.
Drew Gaylor goes out, the 5'11" senior.
Clay Stoltzfus handles things up top. His brother Carter, an all-conference soccer player, and has had a terrific junior year in basketball. We've got a whistle away from the ball and a hold called on Memorial.
Had a pretty good look there at Scott Radiker, and it looked like he was telling the officials, hey, they're holding on to my guy.
Call the foul on Malachi Emmons. That's his first, as you do get a look at Scott Radiker, his 19th season, second one at Northridge, where he's 38-14 in just 2 years. Here's Stoltzfus on the drive. Carter Stoltzfus with a little teardrop over the outstretched hands of Brooks. And he brings Northridge back within 2. Here's Miller outside. Whips it down to Rogers on the baseline. Down low, it's Emmons. And up over Stauffer, no good, but Brooks couldn't get the putback either. Loose ball comes to Smith, and he'll throw it out of bounds off a Charger. So Sam Smith, the latest in a long line of Smith brothers, cough, cough, who have matriculated from the Middlebury area. The ironic thing is they've played at both of these schools. Last year, it was Hank Smith for Elkhart Memorial, who was their top three-point shooter. And now brother Sam with the mantle at Northridge, where we have seen the majority of them.
Nice adjustment by Northridge early, taking away the perimeter game. Talking about how important that would be, and they've scored both their baskets from inside.
Stoltzfus misses a 3. Northridge has not hit one of those yet, which is bizarre for them, but Stoltzfus reads the mail and goes the distance for 2. He's got all 6 of the Raider points. Here's Rogers on the dribble. And now Emmons right down the lane. That left Miller wide open for 3. Braxton Miller, a 42% three-point shooter, drains his 63rd of the year and puts the Chargers back on top.
First points of the night for Miller.
Here's Stauffer going inside. Reverse layup is good. Alex almost put himself too far underneath the basket, but those long arms bailed him out. Memorial has been a little sloppy with its passing here in the first quarter. 2 transition baskets from Northridge have helped their cause immensely. And Stoltzfus just forced another turnover. Carter Stoltzfus having himself a heck of a first quarter, Bob.
Well, he's trying to get the coach to understand why he should be starting. No question about that. But, yeah, he's off to a good start, which is really important in this matchup between these two teams.
Stoltzfus with the left-hand dribble. Has a chance to put Northridge on top, but the ball deflected away.
Folks, get back in the game with South Bend Orthopedics. Team physicians for the University of Notre Dame since 1947.
Just 54 ticks left in this first quarter. Memorial by 1. A scoring pace that is unlike what you expect to see from these two teams. That can change in a hurry, especially with the way Northridge normally lights it up from 3. Drew Gaylor with the miss there, and an over-the-back foul called on Alex Stauffer, his first. That's the first foul on the Raiders as well, and both teams will go to the bench here. Blake Jacobs will come in for Northridge, and Brandon Brooks returns for Elkhart Memorial.
Memorial leading on the boards now, 8-3.
See if the Chargers try to pound it inside here with Stauffer out of the lineup and Brooks back in. Here's Yarjan Lewis with the pull-up jumper for 2. His first basket of the night. He averages 12.2. And Northridge will play for the last shot. You see the clock, bottom right corner of the Intera Credit Union scoreboard. Carter Stoltzfus up top. Stoltzfus taking it all the way to the baseline. The fadeaway no good. And the quarter ends with Elkhart Memorial in charge of this one. The Crimson Chargers getting off to the good start. Skinny Rogers has 4, and the Chargers lead by 3 on 46. This edition of the 46th Game of the Week being brought to us by IU South Bend, fulfilling the promise. Bo Hunt always fulfills his promise with our sideline reports, and he gives us his thoughts on the first quarter with a Bills Heating sideline report. Bo?
I think one of the biggest things that stood out that first quarter, besides Carter Stoltzfus and the way he played offensive and defensively, was Northridge's attacking of the offensive end on the rebounds. They were not doing it on the three-point shots. They are all coming back and getting back on defense, trying to eliminate that Elkhart Memorial fast break and really trying to slow them down and slow this pace down, guys.
But in so doing, they haven't been able to hit any of those three-pointers.
Yeah, and I think when you look at the score, not a bad job holding Memorial to 13, but you've only scored 8. You would expect that Northridge got to get their offense in gear.
Second quarter brought to us by our friends at Angel Automotive. Alex Stauffer back in the game now for Northridge, but it's the drive by Camden Net that results in 2 points. Net, who you'll meet at halftime, one of our TCU Student Athletes of the Week, gets his first basket of the game. At the other end, Yarjan Lewis's 3 is off the mark. Drew Gaylor the rebound, and Northridge with a chance to take the lead. Carter Stoltzfus outside. Boy, he had placed Stoltzfus wide open. Instead, he goes into the land of the trees.
I think had that been Sam Smith, he would have shot it.
Well, Stoltzfus eventually does, comes up short on the three-pointer. Northridge still not hitting beyond the arc after hitting 43% from out there all season long. That's why they take so many of them, because they normally make so many of them. Meanwhile, Demarion Anderson inside, missed the layup, tipped it in with the right hand. He's only a freshman, but man, is he good.
Put a heads-up play and another offensive rebound. That's 10 rebounds.
Meanwhile, Carter Stoltzfus just lost his man, but couldn't hit the 3, and the Chargers come the other way with a chance to pad the cushion. Look at Yarjan Lewis down the lane, missed the layup, and on the rebound, a foul called against Memorial. It'll be on Brooks, his first.
Teachers Credit Union understands the importance of growing your future. Whether you're growing your family, your square footage, or your business, Teachers Credit Union is here for you with financial solutions that will help you succeed. Visit tcunet.com to start growing your future today. Federally insured by the NCUA, they are an equal housing opportunity lender.
Sam Smith checks back into the game. He has been scoreless so far, averaging 16.5 per game. Smith will try to change that here, but cut off on the baseline by Skinny Rogers. Stauffer working one-on-one down low. Takes Anderson up and draws the contact. And the freshman picks up his first foul, and it'll send Alex Stauffer to the line where he is an 82% free throw shooter.
Pretty good move by the veteran there to take the youngster to the hoop. And he's a big fella. You know, one of the things about the offense for Northridge, Chuck, is so many times when they do shoot a 3, and it doesn't go in, Stauffer's there to clean it up.
Nobody, and I mean nobody, in the state of Indiana shoots free throws better than the Northridge Raiders. They shoot 81% for the season as a team. And Stauffer right there among the best at 82%. Big fella committed to Indiana Wesleyan, has 4 points tonight and brings the Raiders back within 1.
Keep in mind that a lot of teams that we check on when we go around to visit, coach will say, we're about 65%, we're pretty good. Yeah.
Braxton Miller's three is off the mark, and Stauffer collects another rebound. Smith may have gotten away with a double dribble there. Instead, he'll take it off the roll from Stauffer, but a good double team by the Chargers. Smith comes off the Stauffer screen there, goes to the baseline and kicks it back outside. Ooh. Drew Gaylor. Now he'll drop it off for Clay Stoltzfus for three, and Northridge still has not hit a three tonight. Malachi Evans into the lane, draws contact from Clay Stoltzfus.
Well, Clay Stoltzfus missed the three, but he had a good chance for a two earlier. He had some penetration, had a pretty good look.
So this will send Malachi Evans to the line. He's only a 53% free throw shooter on the year. And he misses the first.
He heard you.
Brooks checks back in. He'll take the place of Demarion Anderson.
Our thanks to the team at St. Andrews Products for making our crew look good. They can do the same for your school or corporation. Call them at 800-628-9922 or email them at sales@standrewscorp.com. Your expectations become our standards, and our answer is always yes. Now, what's the question?
Stauffer for the topside triple. They finally break the schneid. The three sponsored by Middlebury Community Schools, and for the first time tonight, the Raiders have the lead. Braxton Miller outside. Now it's Malachi Evans. Sam Smith draped over him. 1-3-1 zone here by the Raiders, and the Chargers finally solve it as Evans goes inside for two. Meanwhile, Clay Stoltzfus races the other way. And Scott Radiker wants a timeout. No, he wants a different play. I'm sorry.
I think he wanted the timeout when his guy was tied up, but he changed his mind.
And they try to feed Stoltzfus, and Stoltzfus couldn't get his feet, or excuse me, Stauffer, and Stauffer couldn't get his feet under him. And it's another Northridge turnover.
He hadn't had one in a while. 4 for Memorial, 3 for Northridge. Memorial leading on the boards 11-7.
Knotted at 15 midway through the second period. Memorial, a team that scores about 62 points a game. So both these teams typically in the 60s, well below that pace tonight, but that could change as Skinny Rogers hits his 27th three-pointer of the year. He's got 7 on the night. Smith down the lane, over 3 bodies, couldn't get it to go, and the rebound tipped around, thrown out of bounds off a Charger again, and Northridge will keep possession.
Northridge doing a lot of good things, but boy, those empty boxes on my score sheet, Chuck. Tough for them to make a jump shot here so far tonight.
Little weave running around. Sam Smith got himself some room and throws it in for his first 2 of the night. Smith, the 6-foot junior, tries to draw a lot of fouls with his herky-jerky motion sometimes. Has not had the benefit of one of those calls tonight, but he does bring the Raiders back within 1.
He went to that dangerous spot about 12 to 15 feet.
Emmons found the 15-footer but couldn't get it to drop, and here's Carter Stoltzfus. Stoltzfus second in the state in assist to turnover ratio. He kicks it back outside. Stauffer took a little too long to load up. Scott Radiker trying to get a timeout. He's all the way to half court, but we've got a foul down on the sideline. And this is going to be called on Skinny Rogers, his first.
See, if this was the XFL, Chuck, Scott Radiker would have a microphone on and would have been able to call a timeout.
Well, he'll get one now. It's sponsored by Stutzman Power Equipment. 2:47 to go first half. 18-17 Memorial on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week is being brought to you by South Bend Orthopedics, the team physicians for the University of Notre Dame since 1947. Here, take a look at Sam Smith, the sharpshooter for the Northridge Raiders, trying to get them back-to-back sectional titles. And Sam, member of the all-tournament team at Noblesville, keeps going to that eye a little bit. You just wonder if he's having a vision problem here tonight. He tried to throw it back in, but Memorial gets the steal this time. Braxton Miller for three, not that time. The rebound to Malachi Emmons. Rogers sizes it up, couldn't get it to drop. Brooks goes up and gets another offensive rebound. Chargers are killing it on the glass tonight. But now they have to find a way to make Northridge pay with a bucket.
A lot of those rebounds were offensive rebounds.
Rogers goes inside, no foul call, and Stauffer got the block and the rebound.
I think a good no call there, Chuck. He chose to take on three guys. That's bad odds.
Meanwhile, Smith rolls around the right side and has it blocked by Brooks. Chargers now in transition. Lewis will take it all the way for two. No, he missed it. Brooks the rebound, and it's good. Brandon Brooks with four. Memorial back up by three.
And another offensive rebound.
Stoltzfus, 15-footer. That's going to be there tonight, and Carter Stoltzfus taking advantage. He's keeping Northridge in this one with 8 points. Great pass from Emmons to Rogers, and he's fouled from behind by Gaylor.
Skinny is skinny, isn't he?
He cut right through there, and Drew Gaylor found himself on the backside. But look at this pass from Malachi Emmons that set it all up as he whips it right through the heart of that 1-3-1 zone.
Middlebury Community Schools, a top achieving school district inspiring students to change the world. Middlebury Community Schools, where achievement and innovation are hallmarks of a great education.
Skinny Rogers, 71% free throw shooter on the year. And the transfer from Elkhart Central leading the Chargers tonight with 8 points. Memorial up by 2 as we go to the waning stages of the first half. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, you'll meet our TCU student athletes on the Southwind Flooring halftime report. Stauffer inside. Got it to drop, and we're tied at 21. Alex Stauffer now with 9. Braxton Miller double teamed in the corner. Rogers found Stauffer a little too big to go up against.
He's done that a couple times, gone into three guys.
Now he dumps it down to Malachi Emmons for 2. The extra pass, always a good idea.
What a good job offensively to stay in what they wanted to do.
Camden Knepp down the baseline, goes up and over Emmons for 2. Knepp now with 4. Let's see if the Chargers hold for the last shot in a 23-all game. Nope, Lewis will pump it up, no good, but another offensive rebound. Rogers for 3, that hits the neck. Here's Northridge, but Gaylor fell down in the backcourt, and on an alternating possession, it will go to Memorial with half a second left on the clock.
Stutzman Power Equipment, where you can get the tools and equipment for all of your outdoor needs, specializing in Kubota, steel, Toro, Simplicity, and Skag. Check them out at StutzmanPower.com, Stutzman Power Equipment, one of our sponsors for tonight.
Brooks tried to tip it in, couldn't do it. The half comes to an end, tied at 23. Bo Hunt has Scott Radiker with a Bills Heating sideline report.
Scott, you go into halftime 0-0 basically. It comes down to a second half. Just your thoughts on your performance in the first half.
Well, offensively, we got to get better shots. We're taking too many contested shots. We got to trust our offense, trust the system, all right, and get uncontested shots, even if it takes a few reversals. Defensively, I think we're doing a pretty nice job, other than we've given up some old boards.
Thanks for your time.
Hey, you got it.
Back to you guys.
All right, stick around, everybody. The Southwind Flooring halftime report with our TCU student athletes is coming up next. When the threes have rained, Alex Stauffer drained one for Northridge. Skinny Rogers for Memorial, all knotted up at 23 in the sectional semifinal on 46.
And we welcome you back to Northside Gym in Elkhart, the big barn on Bristol Street, where we've got some sectional second round games going on, and we're excited about the Elkhart Memorial Clash with Northridge. And right now, our chance to honor our Student Athletes of the Week, brought to you by TCU. They remind you to go online at tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. Well, with us from Elkhart Memorial High School is Clayton Lundy, and with us from Northridge High School, Camden Knepp. And Camden, first of all, congratulations on your accomplishments in the classroom, baseball field, and certainly in basketball. You've been a busy guy.
Sir, appreciate it.
Talk about what it takes to get all that done. You got to have some priorities.
Yeah, for sure. Time management is a big thing, you know, just getting all the work done at school, so then I have time to get home and work on my athletics. So it's huge.
You're pretty excited, too, about what's ahead for you. Going to Taylor University.
Yes, sir.
Going to play baseball down at Taylor. What made you pick Taylor?
You know, they have a really good baseball program. I've known some of their coaches for a while, and I know they'll get me to be my best.
You're still going to have your coach at home, though. Your dad's been a big help to you.
He sure has, man. Yeah, everything from just going out and rebounding for me outside ever since I was little. Both my parents have been huge for me, just getting me in camps ever since I was little, so I appreciate them a lot.
Is there anything better than having a catch with your dad?
Oh, no, that's amazing. It's awesome. Ever since we were little.
Mom gets a little credit here, too.
For sure, yeah. Yep, getting me in camps and stuff. Yep, ever since the beginning, so.
Camden, we congratulate you on all your success. Wish you the best at Taylor. And congratulations on being our Student Athlete of the Week.
Thank you.
All right, Camden Knepp from Northridge High School. And now we're going to talk with Clayton Lundy from Elkhart Memorial High School, where he has excelled in wrestling and football. And I think I finally got that right. First of all, Clayton, congratulations on all your success.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You've been a busy guy. I mean, football lends itself a little bit to wrestling, and wrestling lends itself a little bit to football, but it keeps you busy.
For sure. I mean, like you said, both of them help each other out, so even when I'm doing one, I'm confident that I'm still in good shape and condition for the other.
What weight were you wrestling?
I wrestled 170 this year.
Oh, I did too. No, I didn't. Never. But I want to talk to you about what's ahead for you. What are your college plans?
I'm undecided right now, but I'm looking to go on some college visits this year and kind of figure out what my next step is going to be.
So there aren't a lot of programs anymore in wrestling in major colleges, but there's enough to consider wrestling at the next level?
For sure, for sure. And I think it's definitely growing again. It was kind of in a slump, but it's coming back. Competition is still at high levels, and I'm ready to compete at whatever level I choose to go to.
You got to be like a lot of successful athletes. You got a lot of people behind you. Talk about the people who made a difference in your life.
I gotta say my parents and my whole family in general, friends, my whole support group, they've all made a huge impact on me, whether that be through financial support or just moral support and being there along the way.
So. We certainly want to congratulate you on what you've done already with your life and wish you all the best no matter where you go and what you're studying, but good luck down the road. You're a hard-working kid. I think you're going to do fine.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Clayton Lundy from Elkhart Memorial High School and Camden Knepp from Northridge High School, our Student Athletes of the Week, brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. We're back with some halftime stats and highlights in just a moment. You're watching TV 46 coverage of the Elkhart Sectional. We're back in a moment after this.
This edition of the TV46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV46 for 30 years. Our Southwind Flooring halftime report continues from here at Northside Gym, where the game between Elkhart Memorial and Northridge is tied at 23. Chuck Freeby and Bob Nagel high above the fray at the sectional semifinal. A little bit lower scoring than we expected, but just as competitive.
If you told Scott Radiker that Sam Smith would have 2 points at halftime, he'd say we're down by 10. They're not. They're tied 23-23. It's been a great offensive first half in a lot of ways for Memorial. They've gotten penetration. They've gotten offensive rebounds. But, again, the shooting percentages knocked them down a little bit. Both teams very intense defensively, doing what they want to do as far as Memorial on Northridge, getting out on their perimeter shooters, doing a great job with that. Memorial has been able to get penetration. It's really where most of their points have come from.
But haven't been able to do it in transition, which was a concern. So let's show you how it got to be this way here at Northside Gym. Chargers got off to a good start, thanks in part to Skinny Rogers with that left-hand layup. They grabbed a 6-2 lead in this one. Actually, Northridge was on the schneid for about 4 minutes until Carter Stoltzfus had that steal and score to get him on the board. And then the Chargers working outside to Braxton Miller. He buried a three, but that was his only three of the first half. Meanwhile, Alex Stauffer started to heat up underneath. Chargers were getting points out of Diarjon Lewis. He had a couple in the first half, but when Stauffer hit that topside triple, you thought maybe this uncorks it for Northridge. That was their only three-pointer of the first half. Meanwhile, Rogers hit one, and then the defense Bob talked about, a little headbutt love right there from Rogers into the skull of Sam Smith. And Northridge got 8 points from Carter Stoltzfus. Malachi Emmons came down at the other end, did some work, tied at 23, and the numbers just as even as the ones on the scoreboard.
Yeah, again, Memorial with 18 rebounds, 7 of those were on the offensive end. Just a couple of offensive rebounds for Northridge in this ball game. Turnover is also a factor in that Northridge has fewer of them, but we're tied at 23, and people around the state got to be going on their websites or whatever. Let's see what's going on in that game. Well, you know what's been decided? Nothing.
Which is what we would expect when these two get together, especially at tournament time. We've got an exciting second half coming your way. Bo Hunt will find out adjustments from the Memorial side, and we'll get those to you after this on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. 23-23 at the intermission here at Northside Gym. Before we start the second half, let's go downstairs to Bo Hunt for a Bills Heating sideline report. Bo?
Yeah, I got a chance to talk to Kyle, and he talked about the defensive end and just really rebounding and getting after it. He goes, we can't let any chance to get any second chance shots. And he goes, really happy with the way they're kind of moving the ball in offense, not really forcing anything. But defensively, that was the biggest thing he talked about in our whole conversation is they really need to box out, really need to rebound, and really can't give any second chance points, guys.
For those of you watching our live stream on YouTube and Facebook tonight, let's give you some scores from around the area. At halftime, Marion leads St. Joe 31-29. Also at the half, Northwood on top of West Noble 27-18. And a little bit of a surprise in 2A at Westview, where Churubusco has a 35-24 lead on Westview at the break.
Guess who they're doing a pretty good job defensively on Mr. Yoder.
Charlie Yoder with only 8 points in the first half. Here we're tied at 23 as we get ready to start the second half. The winner of this one faces either Warsaw or Penn in the Elkhart Sectional Championship tomorrow night at Northside Gym. Northridge starts the second half with the basketball. Alex Stauffer outside to Camden Knepp. Now it's Drew Gaylor down low to Stauffer underneath, and he puts it up for two. Stauffer now in double figures for the 21st time this season, and the Raiders up by 2.
Looked like a real veteran there, the way he handled the ball and the way he was able to be patient and get the opening.
Came over and sealed off Skinny Rogers, but that leaves Emmons in the corner for 3. Malachi Emmons, not known as a three-point shooter, has 7 points and puts the Chargers back up by 1. Smith, 15-footer is good. Sam Smith with 4. And both teams showing a little bit hotter hands here as we start the second half.
Two well-coached teams at halftime made adjustments, and obviously they're paying off right now.
Northridge playing a switching man-to-man. Emmons in the corner, had it swatted away by Smith, and here come the Raiders. Smith, no look pass to Knepp for two. That was pretty. Raiders by 3, their largest lead. And Rogers tried to make it disappear, but he missed the three-pointer. Camden Knepp gets away from the double team, and now the Raiders have numbers. Stoltzfus kicks it out to Smith. Back to Stoltzfus. Stauffer puts it on the ground. Stoltzfus for 3. And the rebound to De'Arjon Lewis. Lewis only had 2 points in the first half. You wonder if he'll be more of a factor here in the second half. Memorial running a little weave around the top. Brackton Miller bombs away, and that won't go. A good box out by Carter Stoltzfus.
Very nice.
Stoltzfus outside. Stauffer open for 3. They iron unkind. Memorial the other way. Skinny Rogers runs into Stauffer, and Stauffer gets the rebound. Stauffer held his ground well. Stoltzfus left hand, no good. Memorial the other way, 1-on-4, and Malachi Emmons kicks it back outside. Skinny Rogers drops it off for Brooks for 2. Brandon Brooks has quietly had a good night with 6 points.
Was one of the guys that we saw the first time we had them on the air this year. We thought Brooks needed to be a little more active as far as scoring.
Smith around a Stauffer screen for 2. Stauffer won't get credit for an assist there the old-fashioned way, but boy, he sure had a big role in that basket.
Smith with 4 points here in the second half, doubled what he had in the first half.
Rogers tied up by Smith, but Smith did it by reaching around and draws the foul.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies is celebrating 60 years as industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. 60 years of serving the automotive, medical, aerospace, military, and defense industries. Go to iftworldwide.com for more information. Like the teams in tonight's game, they're working toward a great finish.
Pull-up jumper rattles out for Emmons, and here come the Raiders up by 3. Camden Knepp. Now Drew Gaylor finds Stauffer down on the block, working against the freshman Demarion Anderson. They go back to Stauffer again, this time facing up. Couldn't back his man down, but Stoltzfus open for 3. It's sponsored by Middlebury Community Schools, and Northridge with its largest lead at 6.
Stoltzfus was 0 for 3 in the second half from three-point range. Now he's 1 out of 4.
That's his 61st 3 of the year. Meanwhile, Anderson, the freshman, misses, and he was out of bounds before he touched the ball. Kyle Sears wants timeout as the Raider fans across the way make some noise. Well, he eschews the timeout, and we'll keep it here. Here's Carter Stoltzfus with the dribble. His brother Clay kicks it back out to Carter. And Carter down low for 2.
A little brotherly love right there. Clay had the shot, but gave it up for the pass, and his brother put it home.
De'Arjon Lewis rattles one home, and that was desperately needed for the Chargers, who now will take the 30-second timeout. 3:24 to go, third quarter. Northridge up by 6 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the electrical workers of Local 153 and by Imagineering Finishing Technologies, IFT, where quality is a way of life. So Northridge comes back out with a 6-point lead on Elkhart Memorial. 3:24 to go here in the third quarter.
Northridge scored 23 points in the first half. They've got 13 already here in the second half.
Here's Carter Stoltzfus on the dribble for Northridge. Stoltzfus having a big night with 13 points. The other guy having a big night, that hoss, Alex Stauffer. 13 points for the big fella. Memorial has nobody that matches up real well with him one-on-one. 38-30 lead for the Raiders. Here's Anderson trying to take it inside, and he drew some contact as Clay Stoltzfus is called for his second foul.
Chuck, you got to believe that head coach Scott Radiker talked to Stauffer a little bit at halftime about how he needs to be dominating inside. He's come alive here in the third quarter.
Meanwhile, a charging foul called on Memorial. And Kyle Sears can't believe it. You'll get another look. Watch on the SBO replay. And when that elbow comes up, it's almost automatic that it's going to get called.
Yeah, there's an indictment coming.
First foul on De'Arjon Lewis. Meanwhile, Northridge starting to really work its offense with efficiency. Sam Smith for three. Off the mark, but an offensive rebound, and Carter Stoltzfus gets the bucket and the bump.
Wow.
Take another look on the SBO replay. Offensive rebounds have been tough to come by for the Raiders tonight, but the little man, Clay Stoltzfus, got one, and he knew where his brother was.
Well, they are putting on a show, aren't they?
And here's an 83% free throw shooter at the line. Memorial will go to the bench, and they'll put Skinny Rogers back in. Northridge scored 23 points in the first two quarters. They've scored 18 in the first 5.5 minutes of the third.
Carter Stoltzfus, what a second half already. 8 points.
And they haven't really needed to do it from three-point range. They've hit one here in the second half. Brooks lost the handle and had to recover. Braxton Miller for three. Couldn't get it to go. The rebound off of Northridge and out of bounds to Memorial. Nice play by Skinny Rogers.
Angel Automotive. Angel Automotive fixes everything from maintenance, oil changes to complete engine overhauls. Let Angel Automotive be your neighborhood car or car repair service center. Find out more at angelautomotive.com.
Carter Stoltzfus really looked like he took a shot to the eye there, so he is coming out as Camden Knepp comes back in. Bo Hunt down at that end of the arena. He'll be able to, no pun intended, keep an eye on things here.
He and Smith going to look like they're in a heavyweight fight.
Meanwhile, De'Arjon Lewis with the right hand drops that one in. That brings the Chargers back within single digits.
Once again, penetration from Memorial.
When they played in the regular season, Northridge had a big lead and frittered it away with turnovers, and that was something that Scott Radiker mentioned to his team in practice the last couple of days. Stauffer working inside, got Brooks up and under, got the bucket and the bump. Big fella putting on a flex out there.
Again, watch the second effort here. Gets Brooks moving. Brooks is going to take his shot to block the shot. And then he got the up and under, knocks it home.
So Alex Stauffer, who received an IHSA sportsmanship pin after their game with East Noble, loves fishing and shoe shopping. Might have to put those plans on hold for another week if Northridge keeps playing like this, even though he missed the free throw there. Here's De'Arjon Lewis for three. It's short, but the rebound to Demarion Anderson. Malachi Emmons to Skinny Rogers, and Skinny lost the handle.
Well, the intensity is really something defensively for Northridge here in the second half.
Bo Hunt with the Bills Heating sideline report. What are they doing down there to the eye of Carter Stoltzfus?
Yeah, they're putting a little bit of a Vaseline on, kind of like boxers, on that eyebrow. You know, when you get cut up there, try to keep the bleeding down as well. Earlier in the first half, he was out for about 2.5 minutes as well with a bloody lip over here on the sideline as well. So he's getting banged up.
Our crew worked the Bengal bouts last Saturday, and they're used to seeing stuff like this. Stauffer lost the handle underneath. Here's Braxton Miller. Chargers want to try to get this down to single digits before the quarter ends. Skinny Rogers for three. That'll help. His second three of the night. He has 11. 8-point game. Let's see if Northridge tries to hold for one. Pretty bumpy down there, but no call.
Veteran team, Northridge, they really know where each other are going to be during the offensive set.
Sam Smith right over D'Arjon Lewis for two. Smith with 8. At the other end, Lewis to Rogers. Wide open for three, but it's off the mark. And good rebounding by Gaylor and the Raiders. They've got a chance for the last shot. Smith looks at the clock at the other end. Gets a screen from Stauffer and buries a three-pointer, and that could be a dagger. It's sponsored by Middlebury Community Schools. Sam Smith had 9 of his 11 points in the third quarter, including this three at the buzzer. It's Northridge by 13 after 3 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week is being brought to you by Bills Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. We get a Bills Heating sideline report. Bo Hunt, very simple question. Northridge scores 23 in the first half and 25 in one quarter. What flipped the switch?
They made baskets, plain and simple. And I think the biggest things is down here in the court, you can really see just the confidence that every single one of their players had out there on the floor. The first half, they looked like they were a little anxious on their shots. They weren't quite certain on their shot, weren't comfortable. This second half, they came out here and they're like, hey, let's play basketball. They came out with lots of confidence, and you can see why they scored 25, guys.
How's 78% shooting in the third quarter?
That'll work.
11 out of 14. Meanwhile, Memorial was 6 out of 12. That's not bad, 50%. But en fuego are the Northridge Raiders.
And a lot of those were contested shots. Now, Braxton Miller misses a three there. And on the rebound, it comes to Cam Knepp. And here's Sam Smith all alone for three. He suddenly has 14. That's sponsored by Middlebury Community Schools. It's a scoreboard detonation for the Raiders.
$23 points in the first half, 25 points in the third quarter.
Anderson goes behind the back, and Malachi Emmons goes in strong for two. Malachi now with 9. But the Chargers find themselves down by 14 after being even at the half. Good ball movement by Northridge. And for the most part, after a sloppy first quarter, they've taken care of the ball. Timeout called by Northridge. It's sponsored by Stutzman Power Equipment. 6:56 to go in the game. 51-37 Northridge on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by the electrical workers of Local 153. They're making our communities brighter.
St. Andrews Products has joined our team with the finest in promotional products, advertising specialties, business gifts, and apparel. Give them a call at 800-628-9922 or visit them on email at sales@standrewscorp.com. Your expectations become our standards, and our answer is always yes. Now, what's the question?
So the trainers, parent, coach, all down there talking to Carter Stoltzfus about whether he can go back in the game or not.
Chuck, I wonder, I don't think it's so much the cut but he might be going through a little bit of that concussion protocol, making sure if he gets back in there that he's okay.
I mean, clearly he wants to go back in, but he doesn't get a vote. Northridge inbounds up by 14 with a shade under 7 minutes left. And a nice pass inside to Stauffer, but he got tied up. Foul on the floor on Malachi Emmons, his second.
Pretty good effort there by Emmons. I thought maybe he had a clean grab there, but he got a little bit of the arm.
Meanwhile, Carter Stoltzfus has apparently talked to the right people, and he's coming back in to a fine ovation from the Northridge students down at that end of the gym.
By the way, the house is filling up pretty good with Penn and Warsaw fans.
Nothing like a sectional semifinal night at the Big Barn on Bristol Street. This place can get loud, as you have heard tonight. Gaylor swatted away by Emmons.
Bring that in here again.
The time favors the Raiders right now with a 14-point lead. And they'll take their time getting shots here. Stoltzfus to Stauffer for a layup, but he missed it. But an offensive rebound for Cam Knepp, and they can kick it back outside.
Boy, Knepp's been one of those unsung heroes tonight, hasn't he?
By the way, they're going to the fourth at Jimtown. Marion leading St. Joe 42-41.
I thought that would be closer than that.
Stoltzfus topside triple. Yeah, he's back. Sponsored by Middlebury Community Schools. 19 now for Carter Stoltzfus. Skinny Rogers drops it off for Braxton Miller, and he's fouled by Sam Smith.
4 out of 7 from three-point range for Northridge here in the second half.
So here's another look at the three-pointer by Stoltzfus. He went between the legs to get room on Miller, and there wasn't any doubt. Meanwhile, Miller at the other end misses the free throw. He averages 13 a game. He's been held to 3 tonight.
Usually a pretty reliable free throw shooter.
Braxton hits that one. Chargers will go with full court pressure, down by 16. And Northridge will move the ball around here, try to force Memorial into situations where they have to foul, but it's a steal for Rogers, and he gets an easy layup. Skinny Rogers now with 13 to lead Memorial tonight. He'll be playing for the Elkhart Lions the last 2 years of his high school career, as Memorial and Central consolidate after this school year. Meanwhile, Stoltzfus 2-on-1. Knepp got plowed from behind by Brooks. Chargers come over. It wasn't intentional by any means.
No, it wasn't, but another player gets banged up for Northridge here. Camden Knepp. Chuck, you know, one of the things about Memorial, if they are unable to come back here tonight, they won't be washing and folding uniforms. They'll be giving them away.
Yep, their first game ever against Northridge way back in November of 1972, and looking like it might be their last game ever against the Raiders as well, unless they get a big comeback here in the fourth. Emmons trying to poke it away. Stauffer. Smith, a deep three. That one's off the mark. And here's Braxton Miller with the rebound.
First miss for Smith in the second half.
And the Chargers shoot their way back into this one. They left Lewis open for 3, but he threw it up too hard, gets his own rebound, and a foul called on Alex Stauffer, who got his hand in the cookie jar.
Middlebury Community Schools, a top achieving school district, inspiring students to change the world. Middlebury Community Schools, where achievement and innovation are hallmarks of a great education.
On the battle for the loose ball, a held ball, and on the alternating possession, it will go to Northridge. Meanwhile, Westview has narrowed the gap over at Westview. They now trail Churubusco 44-39 after 3. Again, if you're watching this on 46, well, you already know the finals. Those scores are for our YouTube and Facebook streamers. Knepp misses. Smith's tip won't go. The rebound to Demarion Anderson. Malachi Emmons slices in and finds Anderson for two. That's a combination you might hear a lot of in the next couple of years here in Elkhart. Northridge working the ball up the floor. Clay Stoltzfus has given them good minutes off the bench tonight. Now gets double teamed and a foul called up top. I believe it's going to be on Emmons. That's the third on Malachi.
Chuck, Northridge has taken a couple of shots really when they didn't need to. Kind of quick in possessions. And Scott Radical would like them to be a little more patient, spend some more time if they can.
And a quick holding foul called on Memorial as well. This one's going to be on De'Arjon Lewis. And now the parade of free throws will start for the Northridge Raiders with Sam Smith, an 85% free throw shooter, going to the line.
Stutzman Power Equipment, where you can get the tools and equipment for all your outdoor needs. Specializing in Kubota, Steel, Toro, Simplicity, and Skag. Check them out online at StutzmanPower.com. Stutzman Power Equipment, where service is their #1 product. Proud to support high school athletics.
Skinny Rogers fouled on the floor well before the shot. And it'll be a common foul called against Clay Stoltzfus, his third. So the Chargers will have to inbound, trailing by 12 with just a tick over 4 minutes left. Outside, it's Skinny Rogers for three. He's starting to heat up. He has 16. Suddenly it's a 9-point game, and there's still some hope in Elkhart. But a foul called on Rogers, and he'll send Carter Stoltzfus to the line. Take another look at the Rogers topside triple here, Bob.
Well, Memorial's not going to go away easy. They are battling. They've got a couple of steals. They've got some defensive rebounds, and now they're lighting it up a little bit from the outside. They are now 4 out of 6 in the fourth quarter.
But they need Northridge to miss free throws, and that's not something this team does a lot. Stoltzfus, an 83% foul shooter. As you look at Kyle Sears in front of the Memorial bench, Stoltzfus with 20 tonight. His career high 26 came against Columbia City. Raiders back up by double digits and now offering full court pressure. Braxton Miller for three. That's off the mark. And the rebound to Northridge. Skinny Rogers hobbled at the other end while Sam Smith plays it up and in. And we have an official's timeout as Rogers has to hobble to the Memorial bench. So they'll put Brandon Brooks in for him.
Skinny's in a lot of pain down there. And the trainer's checking him out, but giving everything he's got tonight, battling to get his team back in it.
He is writhing right now on the Charger bench. It's a 13-point Northridge lead. De'Arjon Lewis takes it in for the bucket and the bump. Score the basket for Lewis, who now has 8. And you get another look from the fine folks at SBO.
Lewis was held scoreless in the second quarter, but he had 2 in the first, 4 in the third, and now 2 here in the fourth quarter.
And Lewis can't get the free throw to go. By the way, fourth quarter being brought to us by our friends at Angel Automotive. And another foul called on Memorial. And they'll send Smith back to the line where he just missed a moment ago.
By the way, Chuck, when you look at individual performances, leading scorer for Memorial coming in, Braxton Miller. He has made 1 out of 8 shots tonight. And again, not to put the blame on him, but just to tell you how Middlebury is so proud of the effort of Northridge tonight with their defensive effort.
And here's Sam Smith, who with that free throw has now hit 39 of his last 42 at the stripe. He was a 75% free throw shooter when we saw them in January, up to 85% for the year now. And he'll can both of those. He has 18.
Yeah, what a second half for Sam Smith.
Lewis trying to work inside, force that shot, but he doesn't have much choice with the clock being an enemy. Malachi Evans tries to hurdle one up, and Demarion Anderson is fouled on the floor by Clay Stoltzfus, his fourth.
Angel Automotive. They want you to know they fix everything from maintenance to oil changes to complete engine overhauls. Let Angel Automotive do your neighborhood car repair service. They are your neighborhood car repair service center. Find out more at angelautomotive.com.
Anderson swishes the first one. Demarion with 5 points as you take a look at Skinny Rogers over on the bench. They work on his ankle, but he does not look like he's going to be in any kind of shape to come back into this game. Anderson drains both, cuts the lead to 11. Still 2:55 left. There's time for Memorial, but they've got to get stops. Clay Stoltzfus. If you're going to foul anybody, you would want to foul Clay Stoltzfus. He's only a 57% free throw shooter, but they don't seem to be able to close on him quickly enough. And Kyle Sears wanted them to foul him. Instead, they left the back door open, and Cam Knepp is going to go to the line after being fouled by Anderson. Kyle Sears is out there screaming at his team to go foul Clay Stoltzfus, and nobody did it.
Well, Bo Hunt could do that. He's done it. Bo, when you look at the intensity you've seen from Memorial here in the fourth quarter, it's been impressive. But the patience and the extra pass by Northridge has been really impressive as well.
Yeah, I think that's one of the big things that stands out with Northridge as well is their ability to make just that extra pass, and they go beyond not only make that extra pass, but maybe make that third pass as well, trying to find that open man. They're very patient with the ball, and they're very diligent with the way they run their offense.
7 points for Camden Knepp tonight. 87% free throw shooter on the year, and he puts both of those home to make it 62-49. At the other end, Braxton Miller rebounds his own miss for two. Miller now with 6. But it's an 11-point Northridge lead. Gaylor almost lost it, and a timeout called by Scott Radiker, sponsored by Stutzman Power Equipment. 2:09 to go. Northridge looking to punch its ticket to the sectional final, up by 11 on 46. This edition of the TV46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV46 for 30 years. And boy, how special was it last weekend to see Northwood win that state championship. Congratulations to Adam Yoder and the Black Swish.
What a good run they had. And again, a team that got better as the season went along. And, you know, we thought maybe when they beat Marion, are they playing for the state championship in that game? Well, no, but they played a lot of good competition along the way, so when they got to that championship game, they were ready. Folks, for over 60 years, Imagineering Finishing Technologies has been the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. They set the standard for industries, including automotive, medical, aerospace, and military and defense. Go to IFTworldwide.com for more information. IFT has earned national accreditation and worldwide respect. Like the teams in tonight's game, we're working toward a great finish.
By the way, we mentioned the Northwood girls. The Northwood boys beat West Noble in a sectional semifinal tonight, 52-30. Aaron Wolf's team will play for a sectional title tomorrow night at the Panther Pit. Northridge being very patient with the basketball. They probably don't even have to take another field goal attempt the rest of this game. Good news here, Skinny Rogers is back in the game, and he's the one who committed the foul right there on Camden Knepp.
Chuck, when you look at Memorial, maybe playing their last game in the crimson uniforms, think of all the great coaches, players they've had over the years. The Powers name comes to mind, and
Ron Smith
and
Lauren Littleton. I mean, you know,
Steve Johnson.
We can go right through the list. Fact of the matter is, the Elkhart Community Schools released that new logo this week with the lion that will be the mascot. And people wonder, will Kyle Sears be the coach of the boys basketball team? They've already announced Will Cody, the Elkhart Central girls basketball coach, will now be the Elkhart girls basketball coach. Congratulations to him. Here's D'Arjan Lewis losing the handle. Northridge in transition.
Heads up play there. Get it back out. Run some more clock.
And Smith is fouled again up top.
Oh, and by the way, get the ball to Smith. What a second half that young man has had.
Sam with 18, big IU fan. His brother Hank plays at Grace. They're going to the NAIA National Tournament, as are IUSB and Holy Cross. And a reminder that tomorrow night on TV 46, we'll be over at Jimtown for the sectional final there. It'll either be Marion or St. Joe taking on either Jimtown or South Bend Clay. We'll have it for you Saturday night at 11 on 46. As Smith drains both free throws and puts the Raiders up by 15. A third quarter explosion for Northridge made the difference in this one. D'Arjan Lewis, topside triple won't go. Stauffer the rebound. He looks like Gulliver in the land of the Lilliputians when he holds that ball up there. And Knepp gets fouled right away by DeMarion Anderson. A vintage Northridge performance, Bob. They only had 4 guys score, all 4 in double figures. And the Raider faithful on their feet. They know they're coming back to this place on Saturday night.
Well, they did what they do. And I tell you what, when you come to the big dance, you got to dance with who brung you. And that's been the inside play of Stauffer, the outside scoring of Smith. And boy, you tossed in a little seasoning with the Stoltzfus. And both of them are pretty good players. They've had good plays tonight, played well together.
Camden Knepp hits them both. He has 12. Northridge with its biggest lead of the night as we hit the final minute of this one. Rogers for 3 is short. Hustles down the rebound and still can't get it to go. And the rebound to Northridge. And the Raiders will go on to play either Warsaw or Penn tomorrow night. The old coaches who worked together for many years, Al Rhodes and Doug Ogle, will battle in our second semifinal here at Elkhart. A foul called on Malachi Emmons as he tries to hold up Sam Smith so it doesn't fall.
Scott Radiker doing his Rod Melanis impersonation down there on the sidelines. Wanting to get the crowd into it, tell them how much they appreciate the effort of this team right now. Boy, how many teams in the state of Indiana have won 15 in a row?
Not many, and they'll try for 16 tomorrow night. Here's Smith swishing another one. His 20th game in double figures. He had 19 the first time these two teams played. And Memorial will empty the bench as Kyle Sears brings his seniors out for the last time in a Crimson Charger uniform. And Northridge will get some people a chance to get a little extra rest as well as they head into the sectional championship tomorrow night.
Well, we bring you history every night. We do a game, football or basketball. We've had some great moments here for Northridge tonight. By the way, Micah Hochstetler is in the game, John.
Indeed he is. Eric Nocentelli in there, Rodney Gates, as you see Skinny Rogers come off. Some good young talent on this Memorial team. We'll see how they blend with Elkhart Central to become one school next year. Smith hits the free throw. He'll come out in favor of Clay Stoltzfus.
Kyle Sears very proud of his team, not only the effort tonight, but the great season with a lot of young names, and they'll be ready to help Elkhart's Lions next year.
Memorial did not beat a team all season that scored 70 points or more, and that will hold up again here tonight as Gates misses the layup. The rebound to Northridge. Memorial won't bother to foul. The Raiders will drain the clock, and Northridge wins its 15th straight. They go to 20-5 on the year, and Scott Radiker hoping to take his team to back-to-back sectional titles. The final score from Northside Gym, Northridge 70, Elkhart Memorial 51. When we come back, we'll have our Southwind Flooring post-game show with our features, including our IU South Bend Fulfilling the Promise Player of the Game and our Electrifying Play of the Game. It's all next on the 46 Game of the Week.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Game of the Week, brought to you by
a 70-51 victory over Elkhart Memorial propels the Northridge Raiders into Saturday night's sectional final here at Elkhart. A terrific second half performance by Northridge, exploding in the third quarter to assert control in this game. Chuck Freeby and Bob Nagel high above the fray. When we saw Northridge back in January, we thought they could run the table. They have, and they have not disappointed in any facet of the game.
No, that third quarter will be one that they'll remember for a long time. 11 out of 14 from the field. They shot the ball extremely well, and there were some players who shot it even better than the other ones, and one of them's going to be our player of the game.
Indeed, our IU South Bend Fulfilling the Promise player of the game may look like he fought in the Bengal bouts at Notre Dame last week, but he showed a lot of fight here tonight. He's standing by now with Bo Hunt.
Standing by with our player of the game, Carter Stolfus. Hey, first off, 21 points tonight. Just a great victory. Battled out there against another tough team.
Yeah, this is a very tough team. They played well in the first half. We didn't shoot well. We only had 1-3 in the first half. That's not like us. But we kept battling. It was a gritty win.
Talk about a battle. You come out in the first half, bloody lip. Second half, you get hit in the eye, you can't see. Then you come right back in and drain a three. Just talk about that physicality.
It's tough. You got to be tough to win the sectional. And the team needed me, and I came back in. But they played well without me, too. And so that's very good by us.
Last year, you guys kind of came out of nowhere. Nobody expected what you guys did. This year, you guys have a target on your back. How do you guys handle that?
It's tough. I mean, every game we get the other team's best, every single game. And we just keep battling. We work hard in the offseason, and it's paying off right now.
Hey, you got one more game. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Bo. And now time to look at our electrical workers of Local 153. Electrifying play of the game. It happened right at the end of the third quarter, courtesy of Sam Smith.
And it just seemed like that momentum that had gone all during the third quarter was capped off just at the buzzer when Sam Smith drains the three-pointer. It's what they wanted. It's the coach wanted that shot from Smith at the end of the quarter. He knocked it down. What a second half he had. You know, we're talking about Sophus the whole game, but Sam Smith in the second half, unbelievable. What a performance.
Indeed, the Northridge Raiders are going to be an awfully tough out for whoever wins that second semifinal between Warsaw and Penn. And tomorrow night we'll be over at Jimtown for the sectional final there in Class 3A. Our thanks to our TV46 crew who helped bring you this one, led by our production manager, Dean Korsmo, and our usually talented cast of Tony Beltran, Tommy Ward, Adam Rashka, and the whole gang that brings a lot of passion to their job each and every ball game. Now, a reminder, we've got basketball on the radio tomorrow. At noon, it's Wisconsin and Indiana, followed at 2 by Rutgers and Purdue. Those are both on 103.1 FM. And then we rejoin you tomorrow night live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 and on TV 46 at 11 for the sectional final from Jimtown in Class 3A. Now, once again, for my broadcast partners, the Hall of Famers, Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby. The final score, Northridge 70, Elkhart Memorial 51. So long from the city with a heart.